Hi all and welcome back. Today we are, as promised, going to have a look at the first of the warrior talent trees, and we are starting with Fury, and then we are going to move on with arms and prot in the later videos. So I thought we would have a look at like what is in there, how they feel, what kind of options you have. And I am going to make an effort to try to rank them according to this, where you have a few different, let's say, wish list items here. And these are a little bit different when it comes to how difficult they are to implement as well for a company like Blizzard, of course. So let's say like throughput versus utility. That is not super difficult maybe, but then when we go to this one, multiple playstyles, like can we actually find different paths, different builds, different loadouts for the same type of damage output, let's say single target or dungeons, and that they will all feel viable. So that is kind of on the high end of a wish list that you want for a talent tree. So we are going to have a look at these. We can start with throughput and utility. And I think for Fury, there are a lot of utility that you can have, defensives, etc. They are mostly embedded in the class tree. I'm not sure there is much here that you can actually take. There is not even any versatility, I think, in the spec tree. So it's basically all throughput except for these, where you have enraged regen, and you have warpaint, and then you have invigorating fury. That just makes enraged regen last a little bit longer. So I would say probably you will always take enraged regen, and you will always take one of these. So you are making a choice a little bit between throughput, where you have rampage, you have recklessness down here, and the utility, but it's not a lot. And in the class tree, you have basically all the utility up here, and then you have like double time. This is a little bit throughput, I suppose, but then you have like healing stuff here, the shattering throws, your stuns, everything. But it's kind of interwoven, and you have like thunderclap here, which is more throughput, and then down here you have basically all throughput except maybe for shockwave. I would probably categorize shockwave as utility still. So here you're also making kind of a choice. So I would say it's not perfect. It's good. It's okay. It's fine. So we can put it in the it's fine category, I suppose. The pathing, we can go on to the pathing. Let's see, let's have a look. So I would say the pathing in the class tree is actually very good. You need to make the hard choice down here, but I don't see that as a bad thing. It's not like you are locked into one single path right from up here and then you have to go all the way down. You have interlocking paths here. In the spec tree, it's okay, I would say. I would like a little bit pathing here, down here, between these, maybe, so that you can actually go through in an easier way to get, let's say, if you want improved whirlwind but you also want annihilator, it's a very awkward way down here. So now, right now, it feels a little bit locked in. You have these nice pathings from Rampage and down. And Rampage you will basically always take anyway, so that is okay, I think. So I would say it's also in the it's fine category, I would say. Single target ability bloat. What do I mean by that? That's like how many single target abilities do we have, and are there too many of them, kind of. So what you have in the Fury Spectre is that you are. It's very difficult, but you don't really go down both left and right side. You kind of choose a side right now. Now Blizzard are looking at this because they want, let's say, Annihilator to be usable with Titan's Grip as well, so that you can have two-handers but still go for Annihilator if you want to. The idea from the start was that you would go down here with one-handers, and that this would be a much simpler playstyle, because Annihilator would replace Raging Blow, and Annihilator is only like a buff to auto-attack damage, so you would basically lose Raging Blow as a button. But it doesn't feel any less complex, because now you weave in Slam, and you get a cooldown on Whirlwind as well, because you have to do that in order to take Annihilator. So you lose an ability, but you also gain other a little bit strange abilities, because you are putting cooldowns on things that we are not used to having cooldowns on. And Slam we are not used to using at all for Fury. So a little bit strange there, and then you also have Onslaught as a single target ability. So Onslaught, let's see, what do we have more in terms of? It's basically Onslaught, I would say. That is the extra ability, except maybe for Slam, because you can make Slam viable. So let's say that we make both Slam and Onslaught viable, then it would feel a little bit much, because there you have Bloodthirst, Rampage, Raging Blow, Onslaught, and you have also, what else? Slam. You might have to weave in Whirlwind anyway. You have Execute. So you have at least 6 on a short rotation. And that could be a little bit much for Fury, I suppose. We are used to more like 4 or 5. I think it's something that they can have a look at. I'm not crazy about Onslaught as an ability, to be honest with you. It's like mediocre damage. I mean, okay, it's okay damage, but it's not super damage. It's about the same actually as Rampage, but it's on a in this case a 16-second cooldown. So I would say, whoops, let's release. The single target bloat, I would say, could be a problem. We can take the AoE ability bloat as well while we are doing this. So right now, I don't have all the talent points here now, because I haven't leveled all the way up to 70. But I can show you on the talent tree from Wowhead. Now beware that it still says Bladestorm here, so the tooltips here are not updated very well, but we can just use it anyway. Let's see, what is a good way we need? I want Massacre. Frenzy is nice. I would say maybe Cold Steel, Hot Blood, Blood Grace. What else? This is a good one. And then you get down here and then you choose like Annihilator or like Odin's Fury. Let's say that we're making an AoE spec now then, because we are yeah, that's what we're doing. Maybe we do this actually. We take Improved Whirlwind and Meat Cleaver and go down here, and we take Odin's Fury, and we take what do we take? Titanic Rage, let's say. And then we also want Ravager, and then we can have like Hurricane, and now we still have 2 points left in this tree, so we could go for what? Anger Management or Reckless Abandon. Let's say we go for Reckless Abandon, and we are now having 1 point left. Yeah, Unbridled Ferocity, let's say. So we've taken 2 AoE cooldowns, and then we are progressing down the class tree as well. We are not taking Thunderclap, let's say. Usually we are not doing that. Max Rage. Well, Concussive Blows maybe. Sidearm, we're feeling a bit frisky there. And this one is a good one. Cooldown, Reduction. Bitter Immunity is something that we haven't had before. This will be interesting to see. It's basically a Kyrian potion. Double time, of course, Seismic Reverberation, Dual Wield, and then we are going down here because we want Avatar with Titan's Torment, because we want Avatar to cast Odin's Fury in AoE. And now we have a choice to make here, because we have a few points left, so we could go down this path. Let's say this is also a choice. You have Haste here, which is super good for Fury, but then you have Thunderous Roar, which is probably better for arms. And on this side you have Crit, which is okay for Fury, but it's not as good as Haste. And then you have the Spear of Bastion down here. Let's see if we can... We go down to Spear of Bastion. And we can also take Thunderous Roar as well, but then we can't buff them. So we can have 3 down here, but then we can only buff 1 of them. So let's say that we don't take Spear, and then we can get the bleed effects up. Let's say that this has a very good synergy with Odin's Fury. We don't really know yet whether it will have that, because it will depend on tuning. But let's say that we do this, then we have 1 cooldown, because this will proc Odin's Fury. We have 2, we have 3, we have 4. So we have 4 instant cast AoE abilities, basically all on the same cooldown. 1.5 minute, 1.5 minute, 1.5 minute, and 45 seconds. So this will be up the second time with the 1.5 minute. So then it's more like we just put them on the keybind, and then we hit the 4 abilities in sequence or something. So I would say that the bloat for AoE it's there. I would say maybe it could be a problem, because it will probably be the most efficient thing to have at least 4 AoE cooldowns to like push in sequence. So that could be a thing. It's not like it's impossible to do, so I don't think we need to put it in the last category. Let's say, get what we need. By that I mean, are we lacking anything, or does it feel weird? Are we in a place where we want to hit an ability but there is nothing to hit, or something like that? And I would say that we have everything I would say that we need now. I would like execute for Fury to be usable on 80% and up as well, because it adds a complexity to the AoE rotation, where you have to worry about which target to hit. And I played Venthyr Fury for a long time in Shadowlands, maybe too long, because it was really fun to play with Condemn. And I will miss that. I think that was a very good addition to Fury AoE, because it is a little bit simplistic otherwise. But I would say we can take Meat Cleaver and the other things as well. So we can have sustained AoE while we have burst AoE at the same time, and there are a lot of single target alternatives as well. So I would say that this one is pretty far up there. So I would say it's almost perfect. The single target and AoE options. That's also kind of connected to this. It's not that we don't have to super focus on either single target or AoE, but it's more like that than with the arms tree. So, for instance, you need to select a good final one for the avatar. So, if you're going with Titan's Torment, then you're doing AoE. Berserker's Torment, then you are mostly in single target. And I would say that there are different loadouts for single target and AoE, and there are hybrids that are viable. So you can have good single target, but you can also have a decent amount of AoE if there is like an ads pack coming. So it's kind of a good balance. It's not as good as the arms tree maybe, but it's good, I would say. So let's see, we put it here, it's fine. Smooth gameplay, that has to do with well, hitting the abilities in a good order. I've been testing them out, and it feels very similar to Shadowlands, and I would say that the smoothness in the rotations of Shadowlands for Fury was really good. So I don't have any issues with it. The only thing that might make it a little bit weird is that you might have too many abilities at some point, but you can also make the choice of speccing them away a little bit. Hopefully. Unless one of these things or one of the loadouts is like 15-20% more damage than anything else, and then everyone feels obligated to take that. But I would say that the smoothness is very far up there. I would put it here between these two. Multiple playstyles. This is the last one we are looking at, and this is the hardest one to implement as well. So can we find different paths for doing the same thing? And I would say yes, we can, because they have hard divided it into either Titan's Grip or Single-Minded Fury, which is a little bit strange to me. So it's like, depending on what weapons you are having on, they are forcing us into one side or the other side of the tree, kind of. So it's not that it's different play styles for the same setup that you have. You need a different setup, but they are different in playstyle, I would say. Just Annihilator will change up quite a lot of the playstyles. I think, though, that it's probably the worst talent tree for multiple loadouts of the same damage type out of the 3 warrior trees that we have. So I would probably put it like here, actually. So that's kind of what we have, or yeah, what my opinions are. These are just my opinions of it, and it is based on what I have seen on the beta right now. I would say Fury is in an okay spot. I don't have any major fears. Fury will feel like Fury. It could be that you run out of keys a little bit. There is a little bit of a bloat, but Blizzard is also looking at it. I'm not sure they will have the time to fix it, but we will see. But there are ways that we can fix it in the talent trees. We might have to go a little bit off meta, but we'll see. Well, that's it for the Fury tree, and I will see you next time.